And now we start recording. All right. Welcome back again. If you're here, nobody is. I don't fucking care. I'm streaming to nobody. That happens all the time. This is how shit works. You stream to nobody until people show up. This is how it always works. And I'm honestly fine with it. I really am. It's so much easier when you don't have to talk to anybody. You just talk to a hypothetical person who's sitting over there. It's much easier to deal with imaginary people than it is to deal with real ones. There are people on my Discord server that I would not say certain things in front of because it would be triggering or upsetting for them. And not having them here means I can say those things. Not that I want to say things that trigger them or upset them. But, you know, sometimes people are triggered or upset by very simple, basic things. And when those people are in the room, you still have to be careful. Still have to look out for the, what the fuck, I hate this chair. I hate it. I hate this chair. This chair is such a piece of shit. Okay, so anyway, I really did not do much of anything all goddamn week. So if you'll recall from last week, I was going to go through and I was going to do a redraw on all of these characters to improve stuff. But I did the exact same thing that I did. And the exact same thing that I did with Sora, which is not a goddamn thing. I mean, I did stuff over the course of the week, but it was not what I originally expected to do. And as you might notice from over here on the side of my screen here, these 4 brushes, I built a collection of brushes on just Tuesday or Wednesday. It was hey, let's see, what did I do? On Sunday I wrote lore for the game because I started off, I was working on a redraw of Ichigo, and instead of actually working on the redraw of Ichigo, I started planning out like the aspects of femininity that all of the different pantsugami represent. And I went through and I did a whole bunch of work, and then that led into more mythology and more lore on the whole situation. And most importantly, it led to a lot of interesting revelations about why Ollie's magical bomb to make all the women in the world horny didn't work, and why it had the effect that it had instead. So there's a lot of light shed on that by just kind of delving into it and doing more work, and that led to me not really getting any drawing done. So then on Monday, instead of working on my stuff, what did I do on Monday? I don't remember what I did on. I was just talking about it over on Tumblr. Now I don't remember what I said. I don't have the slightest fucking idea what I said. But yeah, on Tuesday I didn't do anything. On Monday I didn't do anything, and then on Tuesday I wrote a timer application. This was actually kind of cool. God damn it. What the hell? It should be like right over here. It should be in my it should be on my desktop. God damn it. Okay, I've got to come over here to my desktop, and I've got to come down here to... Yeah. On Tuesday, I built this timer application right here. And this little timer application is actually like it's coded into my screen, to my stream configuration. So no matter where I put it on screen, you know, it could be actually visible on screen, but I always have it like up on top in the grand scheme of things. God damn this chair. Such a piece of garbage. But I did this little timer, and the way that the timer works, let me just kind of throw this in. You can start it, and what it'll do, you can see that it has the 6 different stages I go through in my artwork. It has the sketch, composition, sketch, construction, flat color, line art, shading, and polish. And when you start it, it will automatically divide however much time you gave it into 6 individual slices and allocate a slice to each of those stages. So you can see here that at 1 minute, that gives everything 10 seconds. And if I let this sit and run for 10 seconds, it'll automatically move down to construction. So once it gets down here, it gets to 9 and then 10 seconds, and bam, it comes down to construction. It's timing there. But I can also skip to the next one. Like if I go, no, I only needed 7 seconds for my construction. Now I'm in flat color. But being in flat color, I get my 10 seconds plus whatever time I had left over from the previous section. So you can see there, I got the remaining 2.6 seconds that I had before. And if I skip all the way down to polish here, since I only had like 5 seconds there, then I'm going to get like 25 seconds on the polish stage. And all of this is totaled up and kept track of. And that is a really useful sort of timer layout that I wanted to have. And you can see that it works like this and everything works fine. I've tested a whole bunch of stuff, and then it gives you this kind of overall, it gives you this sort of overall notion of what all of your times were, how much time you spent in each stage, how much time you spent total. And it's only off by like a few milliseconds. Yeah, I didn't use like high grade industrial timers or anything like that. I just used a basic stopwatch. But it works really well, and because it works really well and everything fits together just fine, originally I was going to download a timer, but it turned out that downloading a timer was not going to be an option because I couldn't find anything with the specific features that I wanted. And you can push this up to like 99 or 100 hours. I forget which one I set it to. I think I let it go up to 100. Yeah, it goes up to 100, which is a waste. And if I pull it down to 0 hours, then it forces it to 1 minute. And if I try to take it all the way down to 0, it not only forces it to 1 minute, but also turns off the time limit. If there is no time limit, then you just start it and it'll run like however long. So it doesn't actually have a time limit at this point. It'll just run as long as I let it run, and I have to manually move it to the next stage. And then it's the same way for all of the rest of them. And then you just get that overall time at the end. But anyway, I put that together so that I could time the stuff that I'm doing. And let me turn that timer off for the moment so I can talk a little bit more about what I was doing. On Wednesday, I had a buttload of yard work to do, so I didn't do any art. And then on, what was it? On Thursday, what was I doing on Thursday? Sitting in a chair that insistently sank, no matter what I fucking did. But yeah, I didn't get much of anything done on Thursday. I didn't get much of anything done on Friday. Thursday, I think, was when I did all of the brushes. And It just as a combination of all of that, and I kind of bit off a lot to do this past week. I said I'm going to redraw 10 characters, and that was a lot to take on. And I'm going to try to do this next week because, you know, I'm not just going to like completely bail on it. But and that actually answers a problem that I had, which is that this is the 99th episode of Sketch Weekly. We did 60 episodes in season 1. This is our 39th episode in season 2, and next week is going to be episode 40. That's a total of 100. Hey, that's kind of a milestone. What am I going to do for this milestone episode? Well, I'm going to redraw all 10 of these characters. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I was supposed to do last week and didn't fucking do. And another thing that I did this week was just completely fucking bail on Twitter. Because they've decided it's going to be X now. And that's a complete fucking train wreck. Just an absolute fucking garbage fire. So, so the question is, what am I going to do on stream right now? I mean, holy crap, I'm 10 minutes into this stream. I have not done a goddamn thing of note or import. Like, nothing at all. I'm just kind of sitting here fucking around. That's it. So anyway, what am I going to do on this stream? You know, it's kind of interesting that that I've got this arranged this way, because the way that I did stuff, I have the first picture I did and the last picture I did right next to each other. So I've got Ichigo and Aya are right next to each other, and you can just look right at them and you can see the progress over the course of that 10-week period. Where, you know, I started off doing an absolutely shit job, and I ended up doing a sort of not quite as shit job. Isn't that awesome? But yeah, I kind of went through and I did a whole lot of elucidation on the lore. So I guess what we'll kind of talk about here is, let's sort of talk about who, because the way we were going to do this was we were going to talk about how we were going to do top ones in the morning, the bottom ones in the evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Ichigo, and then I'm going to do Fumiko, and we should probably talk about who Ichigo and Fumiko are. Actually, we should talk about who all of these are. So these are the individual pantsugami. We have sort of this notion of the pentagram, and we've got the kind of air, metal, water, fire. Got two things that start with W. I think this is the right order. But each of these has a reinforcing aspect. And each of them also has a controlling or limiting aspect. Which is the whole just skipping one thing. And they go around in a circle like this. And I don't remember exactly. I don't have any notes on like how that aspect of it works, but the whole notion here is that because Ali is collecting the panties of multiple pantsugami, and he's putting them all into one bomb, the controlling factors are interfering. Because the controlling factors are interfering with the individual types of spirit panties that he's putting into the bomb, that interference causes all of their aspects to lose power except for the one aspect that is just kind of sitting out above there. And what I started with was, for those who don't know, I know we may have some new audience here who just showed up because they found me on Tumblr. For those who don't know, my background is in occult science, which is a bullshit degree to get, but that's what I did in university because I'm stupid and make bad decisions. And one of the fundamental concepts of occult science is the notion that there are archetypes of individual things and individual people. And people have types and things have types. And there's a Platonic ideal, a sort of an archetypal nature to things. And there are 11 archetypes of women, and the way that these all fit together is, and I've kind of gone through and assigned them to people. Shizuka right here is the mother goddess. She's the divine mother. She represents production of children, the sacred bond of family, all that sort of thing. And then immediately opposite this is Shizuka is an outer innocence reflection. Okay, she's a reflection of the production of innocence from oneself, because children are innocent. Whereas Nara, on the other hand, is the maiden goddess. And as the maiden, well, that's like the virgin goddess, basically. So she's inner innocence. She is herself innocent. She's playful, energetic, and has yet to embark on any kind of erotic path. Whereas obviously the mother goddess had to embark on one to become a mother. So all of this kind of repeats, and we've got Shizuka, the mother goddess, we've got Nara, the maiden, we've got, over here, we've got Aya, the lover, who is inner creation. Yumi is the muse, which is outer creation. Then we've got Chio, who is the mystic. She's inner divinity. And then we have, who's the priest? Haruka is the priestess. The priestess is outer divinity. Okay? And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're down to the next one. Let me check my notes. Fumiko is Fumiko is outer worship. She's the worship of things outside yourself. She's the queen goddess. Whereas, which one is it? Kyoko, I think, is inner. No, yeah, it is. Kyoko is the sage. It's inner worship. It's the understanding of yourself. It's understanding that you are yourself, the individual being that is worthy of your worship. Whereas the queen goddess says, no, you need to worship me. You need to worship something outside of yourself, like me. Whereas Kyoko is just like, no, worship yourself. You yourself. You are the being that is worthy of worship, most worthy of worship for yourself. And then we have Sora is the healer archetype, and Ichigo is the huntress. And the healer archetype is very kind of relaxed and groovy and nurturing and nourishing, whereas Ichigo, the huntress, is more aggressive and violent, goes after what she wants. And all of these different aspects fit together in different ways. But the opposites, like the mother and the maiden, they cancel out. The mother and the maiden, the healer and the huntress, the queen and the mystic, or not the queen and the mystic, the queen and the queen and the sage, and then you've got the mystic and the priestess, and you've got the muse and the lover, and all of these things kind of cancel out. And the way that they cancel each other out is that each of them says, look here for this particular aspect of your life that you need. And they each say to look in opposing directions. So when you steal the spirit panties from the pantsugami and you put them together, if the panties cancel out, this has got to sound so fucking weird if you're not familiar with it. These are panty goddesses. They okay, I've got. I sound like a crazy person. I mean, I kind of am, but yeah. Okay, so starting from the beginning, the entire purpose of the game that I'm building, which is called Groping Festival, the entire purpose is to grope the girl until she drops her panties. But it's not actually a girl. It's a divine goddess of panties from Japan. And the divine goddesses of panties have come down to Earth to inspire men to have more children. There aren't enough children being born. So they've come down to Earth to make men horny. And the divine spirit panties of the pantsugami just necessarily make men horny. They wander around in a given area, and it makes men think lewd thoughts. And each of them causes a specific type of lewd thoughts. Like Shizuka wandering around makes a guy think, I should get a wife and settle down. And Nara wandering around makes a guy think, I should find a young girl that I can bone. And Chio wandering around, she's the mystic. And it's like, man, women know things that men don't. I should go meet a nice girl who knows that. And all of these different aspects of the panty goddesses lead them to be attractive to men, and they lead them to make men horny in specific ways. They want to have a particular type of transcendent sex with women. And the idea is that you make the men horny, and the men go have sex with women, and then after they have sex with the women will have babies, and then there will be more babies. Pantsugami are very, very old. They're ancient. They don't understand the concepts of contraception and abortion. These aren't things that they're prepared to deal with. Now, meanwhile, there's this bum. Okay, there's this bum on the road, Ollie the magic bum. He knows what to do with spirit panties. And anyway, Ollie the magic bum is the guy who put you onto the whole, you need to collect the spirit panties from the Japanese panty spirits so that he can make he can put this plan of his into motion. And he hasn't really given you a reason for it in this game, but what he's trying to do is he's trying to build a bomb that he can set off from the top of the tallest building in Tokyo. And when he sets off this bomb, it'll make all the women horny. This does not end well, because the one aspect that all women have, the 11th aspect of femininity, I've already gone over the 10 things that the individual panty spirits have as their sphere of influence. But the one thing every woman has is every woman is a little bit crazy. They're all just a little bit wild. They're all just a little bit violent, a little bit too overly aggressive, overly emotional. They get caught up in things. They let their imaginations run away with them. And the problem is that because all women are a little bit wild, every pair of panties that Ollie puts in the bomb, he's like, well, this is going to put a bunch of feminine erotic power into this. But there are different kinds of feminine erotic power. So all of these kinds right here, it's like you've got Shizuka and Nara are canceling out. And you've got Sora and Ichigo are canceling out. You've got Kyoko and Fumiko are canceling out. Haruka and Chio are canceling out. Yumi and Aya are canceling out. And once all of those cancel out, you cancel all of those out, and what you have is you have a little bit on one side or the other of this, and a little bit on one side or the other of this, a little bit on one side or the other of this. So on each of the things, you got a little bit of power on one side or the other, because that's what's left after it's all canceled out. But you've got a whole fucking stack of crazy. So, yeah, he does make all of the women on Earth horny, but he doesn't make them productive, nice, horny, the way that an individual pantsugami would. He makes them horny in this crazy, jealous, violent way. Because all women are a little bit wild. And all women are a little bit violent, and they are prone to jealousy, and they are prone to overreaction, and they are prone to emotional overreach. So this goes very, very wrong. And it goes so extraordinarily wrong that there's a whole nother sideline of games that comes along on the side of this. God damn this chair. I hate this chair. I need another chair. I cannot afford another chair at this point. What the hell? There we go. Okay. But, so anyway, because we have all of these canceling out things, I should really reorder these so that they're, I should reorder these so each of them is over top of their opposite. So like, Ichigo should go over top of Sora. Let me go ahead and kill the notes here. Let's put a move layer. We'll and this is the combined collection. All right, don't actually turn the flats back on. Let's turn the collection off. Make a new collection. Turn off the combined. Now we've got all of our flats. So let's come over here and we'll go, all right. We need to grab Sora. Move her over here. Then we'll grab Fumiko and we'll move her over here. These should be outer and inner. So, yeah, Shizuka needs to go on the top. She's outer innocence, and then Nara the maiden is inner innocence. Nara and her. So, okay. And let me come over here. We got Chio is inner divinity. Chio needs to move down. Haruka needs to move up. We have Chio here. We're going to have Haruka here. And let's see. That's those two. We got Fumiko here. Fumiko is outer worship. Here, Kyoko is inner worship. Wow, these are substantially different sizes. And we've got, okay, that's outer, inner. Aya is inner. Okay. And now let me drag a guideline down, another guideline down. And what we'll do is we'll set people's feet on the guideline. Do this there. Okay. And all right. I'm going to start up here with, first of all, no, I want to snap that. Let's start with Ichigo, and we'll Control T. Get out there. Set the top on the top guideline, and we'll set the bottom guideline right on the bottom. That'll be okay. All right, cool. Now we'll take Sora, and we'll start out by pulling her up here. We're gonna pull her up here, and we're gonna transform, and we're gonna go. Here you go on the top guideline. Here you go on the bottom guideline. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to set your bottom guideline, and that's okay. We're going to pull a guideline down like so. Let's move that up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. That'll work. All right, so now come over here and we need to go, oh crap, these are also same places, right? Okay. We're gonna have to start from all of these, delete all of those, and it comes straight down the list there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to begin by resizing everybody appropriately. And yeah, start with Maya. There we go. That's good. We'll come down here to Yumi. T actually needs to be made smaller so I can fit her up. And I drag her up somewhat till there's space for her. There we go. And we've got Shizuka. All this housekeeping shit. Okay. We got Geo. And for some reason, there is a bunch of extra stuff on Chio. Yeah. Let me see what we've got here. I know what it is. There's a bunch of crap in there. All right, so this bit right here. We want to get rid of that. So let's begin by going to our brush. Sketch brush. Okay, so I'm going to pull all of that off. And there we go. Okay, so now we turn clip to layer back on, speak, and Control T, and that's much better. There we go. Oh, I want to select the whole thing there. There we go. Now I come down to Fumiko. Apply transformation, yes. Come down to Fumiko. Control P. And we're going to make her the correct height. There we go. Haruka. This kind of tedious stuff is exactly why everything takes so long. This kind of housekeeping is important. You need to do this. Kyoko. So let's we'll reorder these. Get them in kind of a get them in a standard sizing. And finally, there's Nara. Nara. And there we go. And finally, Ichigo. Oh. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, we can take each of these, and I can take this and go. I can take those two copies right there. I can fold that one down in. I can say that's Aya. And then we can close that and turn that off. Now I can pull down Yumi. I can just flatten that down, flatten that down. Bring that down, then we'll bring that down. There's Yumi. I should really call these flat, flat, F flat, Yumi flat. Don't call her that to her face, she'll get upset. Okay. Merge the shading copy down. We'll merge the line art copy down. And there's flat. I can drag out. Lapse. I can turn off Shizuka. Nothing changes. Now I got Chio. Same situation with Chio. Select everything. Control C, Control V. So shading down. Line art down. Chio flat. There. Collapse. Turn off. I got Fumiko. So you can see. Hitting goes down. Line art goes down. Fumiko flat. There. Collapse. Off. Haruka. Haruka flat. Here. You got Kyoko. Kyoko's a lot of. This is basically the same thing I did last week. Is all this stuff in order. I'm just explaining more stuff as I go, not as much. I'm kind of focused on getting this done, but yeah. For a flat. That moved up. And that off. Nara. Nara's another lots of. There's that. Nara flat. Roll up. Refer to the appropriate location. That off. And finally, Ichigo. That. That. And actually, I should put all of these back into their appropriate. Back into their appropriate folders because I'm going to be moving them around. Okay, let's move Haruka down. Let's move Fumiko down. Chio, Shizuka, Yumi, and Aya. Okay, so at this point, what I want to do is I want to come over here to move layer, and we're going to go, here's Aya. Aya needs to go. Aya goes on the bottom. So Aya needs to go around there. Yumi is outer creation. Aya is inner. Yumi is outer. Yumi is outer creation. Aya is inner creation. So Yumi to come over, sit over top of Aya, like so. And Shizuka is outer. And she goes over top of Nara. Just move her directly over there. Chiyo is inner divinity. So Chiyo needs to come down. Chiyo's inner divinity. And now we got Fumiko. Fumiko is the queen. That's outer worship. And Kyoko is inner worship, right? Pretty sure Kyoko's inner worship. So priestess is outer divinity. It's Haruka. So she moves up and over. And then we've got Kyoko is right where she needs to be. Sora needs to move over here. All right. So we just drag Sora on over here, and there are the 10 pantsugami in their appropriate locations and at appropriate sizes. So now, at this point, now we pull our flats out. Drag Aya out. Okay. Fumiko. Yo. Haruka. Down here we've got Kyoko. Got Sora. Nara. Finally, we've got switch our Nara off. And at this point, we take all of these and we copy, paste. Having pasted them, we go 1, 2, 9. That's collection. And we grab the rest of them. We go, hey, Control G, folder, and we go flat. All right. Now we take flat, we turn it off, and we take our guide layer, and we turn it off. Play. Okay, and there's that. And now we've got all of our appropriately sized pantsugami that are arranged in order and have their appropriate stuff. So we've got the outer up here on the top, and I don't know. Should I do some notes on these individual ones here? I should. Okay, so here in the notes area, we're gonna grab the brush and we're gonna go hello. Oh, that's big. I'm gonna drag that down to there. Notes. I'm gonna go outer. And we've got, this may change over time. We've got, first of all, Ichigo is the, Ichigo. Huntress. Outer creation is Yumi, the muse, inspires men to create. Now we have worship. Umiko, the queen. Divinity. Erica, the priestess. And finally, outer innocence. Shizuka, the mother. Innocence. Nara. Maiden. Divinity. Chio, the mystic. Worship. Yoko, sage. creation. Aya, the lover, the archetypal lover. And finally, power. Sora, healer. Pull that out, and we go inner. Okay, so we got all that divided up, and we got all that put together, and we've got our 10 pantsugami more or less defined. There's some stuff that needs to be addressed on these, and one of them is when you look at Shizuka and Kyoko, they are kind of shy and reserved, which originally I thought made sense, but these are the divine goddesses of panties. They're not shy or reserved. They're beings of tremendous power that have existed since before time. So obviously they're going to be kind of haughty and full of themselves and arrogant and egotistical. So that's kind of necessary. And the personalities really need work. Kyoko needs to be more of a wise woman type. And of course all of them have that little bit of wildness that every woman needs to have. That's important. But that's the way everything fits together with all of these. And you've got the whole reinforcement and control thing going on. So the whole thing is that inner and outer creation cancel, and inner and outer power cancel, inner and outer worship, inner and outer divinity, inner and outer innocence, those cancel. And then there's also the reinforcement and control issues with the elements, which let's see, I believe we had creation was earth. I got some notes on this up here, don't I? Yeah. Wood, water, then metal, and innocence is fire. There's a cleansing nature to innocence. And I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Yeah, that's how I have that all laid out. Okay. So then there's a whole like elemental thing that goes on with this. And that needs to be put into place. So you've got the reinforcement and the controlling, so it's like you put metal and earth together and they reinforce, or you put two elements together and they reinforce. You put two other elements together and one controls the other. So those three elements kind of they end up being in sort of an interesting sort of configuration. But it's like you put them all together, you have the control and the reinforcement sort of cancel each other out, and then you've got the inner and outer nature. Those are canceling each other out, and you put it all together, and you end up with there's a series of alchemical recipes with panties that I haven't gone into in any of the games so far, but that I might get into in the future. So, this whole alchemical thing with the panties is just like, it's background story stuff right now that's going on with Ollie the Magic Bum, and what Ollie is going over with this is he's trying to build a bomb out of panties that's gonna make all the women horny. I think I already explained this on this stream. Now I think about it, but yeah, he's building a bomb out of panties, and the bomb is not going to work. The bomb is going to make all of the women crazy, insane, jealous, and that's where the Yandere Harem visual novel series kind of branches off from that. Nobody wins in Yandere Harem. Everybody loses. That's just how it is. And yeah, I think that's a full hour. Holy crap. So that's kind of all we have time for. Anyway, I'm going to spend the week doing all 10 pantsugami somehow. We're going to see how that specs out. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out the timer, and what I'll do is I'll give myself an hour to do one of the pictures and see how well that goes. And if it goes well, then I'll just continue that. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 1 hour speed paints on all of these because I have a tool that I can use to do 1 hour speed paints. So yeah, I can throw that together. That'll work just fine. All right, cool. Somebody said on Tumblr the other day, they said world building is like becoming the world's most specific historian. I'm going to end up an expert on the pantsugami, and they're not even real. They don't exist. Just shit I put together for a game. But that's what you... If you want something that you're building to be good, you have to understand it inside and out. You have to understand everything about it. You have to know who all of the characters in it are. Like, you know, everybody in Groping Festival so far is just like a throwaway character. I mean, these are just the pictures in the middle of the screen that you click until the panties fall out. And they don't need personalities. They don't need more information for this game. But the next game is where you kind of, the script gets flipped on this. And instead of, you know, hey, you're going to grope these girls and steal their panties, and in the game after this one, you're the girl getting groped for her panties, and you have to run from a horde of filthy perverts. They're trying to take your panties. So it's kind of from the other side. And then there's a tower defense game where you're somebody trying to defend your little sister from having her panties swiped by a horde of filthy perverts. And it's kind of, this is a first, second, and third person view of the whole groping scenario. And I find that interesting. I think a lot of people are just going to go, you made a game about groping people. Well, yeah, but I make you experience the groping from all three perspectives, from, you know, the person who's doing the groping, the person who's being groped, and a bystander who just sees people groping somebody. And doing that kind of first, second, and third person thing. I think it's interesting. I think that's going to be fun. And then we got a series of visual novels because we have to do the Gropocalypse, where Ollie sets off his bomb, and that doesn't go well. And then there's the whole Yandere Harem series that comes off of that. And then finally there's a dating simulator that comes out where the pantsugami are no longer necessary, and they become mortal, and they have to date people. They have to go out and meet somebody and get laid. So yeah, that's the series of games that I have planned. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and save this. I have all of that done. And yeah, you're definitely watching this on YouTube because there is nobody in the Discord. So do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell icon, all that shit. And okay, bye.